Chapter 2, Mishnah 10. It will be taught in Chapter 7, Mishnah 1, that watery mud that is mixed with rainwater combines with the rainwater to complete the required 40 sa'ah. This Mishnah discusses whether immersion tefillah can be performed in such mud. If a mikveh contains a total of 40 sa'ah of a mixture of water and watery mud, Rabbi Eliezer says one may immerse objects in the water, but one may not immerse them in the mud. That is, an object may be immersed in the water that is covering the mud, as long as the object is small enough so that it does not sink into the mud when it is totally immersed. Rabbi Yeshua says one may immerse objects both in the water and in the mud. According to Rabbi Yeshua, one may immerse even an object that is too large to be immersed in just the watery part of the mikveh, and will need to be submerged in the mud as well, as the Mishnah goes on to explain. Rabbi Yeshua's opinion is limited. In what mud does Rabbi Yeshua hold that one may immerse an object? In mud that is at the bottom of the mikveh and water flows over it. In such a case, Rabbi Yeshua holds that the immersion is valid, because the entire surface of the object is covered by the water before it goes into the mud. However, if the water was on one side of the mikveh and the mud was on the other side, that is, the water and mud were side by side in the mikveh, with the mud entirely covering one side of the mikveh with no water above it, Rabbi Yeshua agrees that one may immerse objects in the part of the mikveh covered with water, but one may not immerse objects in the part of the mikveh entirely covered with mud. The Mishnah now addresses how soft the mud must be to allow things to be immersed in it, according to Rabbi Yeshua, and how soft it must be to be reckoned as part of the 40 sa'ah, according to all. What type of mud were they speaking about, i.e., how thick is it? The Mishnah presents 6 opinions, each one more lenient than the previous. The first opinion: it is speaking about mud that is so soft that a stick put into it would sink on its own. These are the words of Rabbi Meir. Only such mud is valid for tevilah, according to Rabbi Yeshua, and combines with water to complete the 40 sa'ah of a mikveh. However, if the stick does not sink but remains on the surface of the mud is too thick to be valid for tevilah, according to Rabbi Yeshua, or to be part of the 40 sa'ah. The second opinion: Rabbi Yehuda says any place in the mud that is soft enough so that a measuring stick that is stuck into it would not remain standing upright, but would tilt to the side, is considered liquid mud. Such mud is valid for tevilah, according to Rabbi Yeshua, and combines with water to complete the 40 sa'ah of a mikveh, even if the mud is not so soft that a stick put into would sink on its own. Thus, Rabbi Yehuda's opinion is more lenient than Rabbi Meir's opinion. The third opinion: Abba Elazar ben Deloai says any piece in the mud that is soft enough so that a lead weight, known as a plumb, used by builders to determine if a wall is straight, would sink into it, is considered liquid mud. It is thus valid for tevilah, according to Rabbi Yeshua, and combines with water to complete the 40 sa'ah of a mikveh, even if the mud is not so soft that a measuring stick that is stuck into it tilts to the side. The fourth opinion: Rabbi Eliezer says if the mud is soft enough that it would go down the opening of a jug, which is quite small and narrow, it is considered liquid mud. It is thus valid for tevilah, according to Rabbi Yeshua, and combines with water to complete the 40 sa'ah of a mikveh, even if it is not so soft that a lead weight sinks into it. The fifth opinion: Rabbi Shimon says if it is soft enough that it would go into the tube of a leather bottle without clogging it, it is considered liquid mud. It is thus valid for tevilah, according to Rabbi Yeshua, and combines with water to complete the 40 sa'ah of a mikveh, even if it is not soft enough to be able to go down the narrow opening of a jug. The sixth opinion: Rabbi Elazar ben Sadok says if it is soft enough that it is normally measured in a log, a utensil for measuring liquids, it is considered liquid mud. It is thus valid for tevilah, according to Rabbi Yeshua, and combines with water to complete the 40 sa'ah of a mikveh, even if it is not soft enough to enter the tube of a leather bottle.